Breaking news as we come on the air, Iran has launched drone attacks on Israel. We will have updates as they continue. Of course, we anticipated these retaliatory attacks by Iran after 7 Iranian commandos were killed, 2 top generals. Hello and welcome to a special edition of The Counts. I am your host, Lydia Serrana. You're taking a live looks right there at southern Israel, Tel Aviv, as we await the bombardment, possibly by Iran. A lot of chaos happening there. Of course, we'll break it all down for you and follow every developing moment. Let's welcome in now our foreign policy experts, Waleed Faris. He's a Newsmax foreign policy analyst as we cover the breaking developments in the Middle East. We also have Newsmax contributor Fred Fleitz. Fred, thank you guys so much for joining us. Waleed, we anticipated this happening. What's your reaction? IDF spokesman Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, in a press statement, confirms that dozens of drones launched from Iran are heading towards Israel. Drones, they take several hours to travel such a distance. What do you think?
Well, drones needs multiple hours. If it was ballistic missiles, maybe 7 to 8 minutes, which is not the case at this point in time. But we don't know, as the night is going to be long for us. This brought me back immediately to 1991, when Saddam Hussein threw missiles precisely on Israel and on Saudi Arabia. It depends on the wave. What is the wave going to do in Israel? It depends also on what Israelis are preparing for. And obviously, may I say, what the administration, what the U.S. will be willing to do for Israel, because we have a lot of assets between Iran and Jordan and Syria and Lebanon and Iraq. We could do many interventions to stop some among them. But let me say this. Every player, every actor in this game we see right now unfolding has been messaged by the other side. Iran understands what's going to happen if they would launch. The Israelis the same. And the United States have messaged also the Iranians and the Israelis. So is this going to be a free-for-all? The Iranians have decided right now to open a full-fledged war with the Israelis, knowing what is to come. Are the Israelis going to be doing what they want to do without the knowledge of the United States? These are big questions that we ask immediately at the beginning of what we see as a campaign ongoing.
You know, Fred Fleitz, I'm looking online right now, and they're saying Iran officially launches attack on Israel using dozens of kamikaze drones. What are you hearing? What type of drones are these? What's also, is Prime Minister Netanyahu, is he safe? Should he be fleeing? What are you hearing, sir?
I've also heard that dozens of drones were launched from Iran. We know the capabilities of these drones from what we've seen in Ukraine, in its use by the Houthis against Red Sea shipping. Iranian-made drones can have a range up to 1,000 miles, which is more than long enough to strike Israel. But as Waleed said, it will take them several hours to get there. We also know that Iran has the largest missile arsenal in the Middle East, and the purpose of this arsenal is to attack Israel and to eventually carry nuclear warheads, which I don't believe Iran currently has. But on the other side, let's bear in mind, Israel knows Iran has this large missile and drone arsenal and has been preparing for an Iranian attack for a long time. Israel has to take this seriously. I think it's more than capable of taking out quite a large number of drones. Iran also reportedly is planning to launch, and this is an unconfirmed press report, possibly up to 100 cruise missiles. They would also be harder to take out, but I think Israel can do it. But the reality is that if Iran was to do this, it gives Israel an excuse that Netanyahu has been looking for a long time to strike Iranian soil, take out their nuclear, do a devastating strike on their oil facilities. So, I mean, this is a very serious situation, and it may turn out very badly for Iran.